Greetings and salutations, and this is TechRunot here, back with more Resident Evil 7 Biohazard, and we are going to go face Marguerite in her second boss fight. See, I got a little bit of issues with this game's pacing a little bit. They're like minor issues, they don't ruin the game or anything, but I do think it's weird that like how the bosses are kind of paced out, because every other Resident Evil game gets this kind of better. Even the games where like most of the bosses are in the second half, they still feel better paced out. Whereas in this game, you're going to be fighting 5 boss fights within the first half of the game. And then you got 2 in the latter half. And yeah, that's kind of just a reverse of what like RE2 Remake and some other games kind of do, where most of the bosses are in the second half. But the reason why a lot of bosses being in the second half works a little better is because you get more powerful as you go through these games. So they're going to need to throw more at you near the end to keep the challenge up. So it kind of makes sense. You know, in RE2 Remake, you have 4 or 5 bosses if it's a second run, and all but 1 boss is in the second half of the game. But that works. It works because by the second half, you got all these weapons, and you got these inventory upgrades, all that shit that would have made the game too easy if you didn't get hit with that stuff. 7 feels a little weird in that regard. I don't have a problem with most of its bosses. I say most, but I do have a bit of an issue with the first Marguerite boss, which we already faced, and the final boss. But outside of those, I think the bosses for RE7 and its 2 post-story DLCs are actually pretty good. I actually think Lucas's boss fight in Not a Hero is actually my favorite, honestly. But, and here's where the but comes in, I think we needed a little more time between the 2 Marguerite bosses. I think that's where like the way the bosses are paced out is at its worst, because you only do one thing between the 2 Marguerite bosses. You do one thing, and that is go to that part of the house, realize you need her lantern, go back, and then you have to go fight her. That feels so weirdly paced that I can't even really put it into words. And it does bother me a bit, especially since that first Marguerite boss isn't even really good, if I'm being quite honest. I enjoy this one. I enjoy all 3 Jack bosses. I enjoyed the Mia boss at the start of the game. I do think you should have been given more time, but between the first Jack and the Mia boss, but I'm fine with them because you do more than one thing between them. Oh shit, she got me almost dead. But here, I feel like that other Marguerite boss, the one you face first, it feels a little shoehorned in. And I feel like it's only there to give a reason as to why she mutates. Because if she wasn't damaged by the player, how's she going to mutate, you know what I mean? I feel like that's the only reason it's there. And part of the issue is that the old house section just isn't long enough to really justify 2 Marguerite bosses. You know what I mean? Like, it really isn't. It's probably one of the shortest areas in the game. I think it is the shortest area. No, the guest house is the shortest area. It's the second shortest. Stop putting me on red, Marguerite. Golly. It's the second shortest area in the game after the guest house. But the guest house has 1 boss. The Baker mansion is the longest, well, the second longest part of the game, and it's got 2 bosses. That's fine. Perfectly fine. They're paced out well enough. The ship is the longest section, no bosses. The barn is the 3rd longest section after the mansion and the ship. 1 mini boss, kind of. They all feel like their amount of bosses fit because of their length. Except for the ship. I do think there should have been like a boss on the ship. I literally feel like it would have been cooler if they just given Marguerite a better designed first boss, and then she somehow ended up on the ship, and you fought her second phase there, her second version there. I feel like that would have been better paced, because the ship as it is has no bosses. And I feel like a boss would have made the ship more fun, because the ship in RE7 I feel like is a bit infamous. I've heard a lot of people say it's not good. I personally think it's not good. I think it could have been good. The main reason I don't like the ship though is just because it pales in comparison to what Revelations 1 did. And I know that's not entirely fair, because the location of Revelations 1 was ships being used throughout the entire game, so they had more area to kind of like flesh them out. So I know that's a little unfair, but at the same time, it's a little hard to like the ship when another game I'm going to be let's playing later down the line did it 10 times better, if you know what I mean. Both horror-wise and level design-wise, it did it way better. Rev 1 scares me, and in the entirety of the game, it scares me more often. Actually, not even more often. It does a better job at scaring me than the ship section for this game, because the only time I really get scared in the ship section for this game is that one part where you're Mia without a gun. You shortly after you get a gun with just two bullets, and there's two of those crawling molded out in the hallway. That's the only time that section is scary, and the only reason it's scary is because you can't kill the molded. And shortly after that, you get the flashback tape that Evelyn makes you watch. And then after that tape, you're going to see it later in the game, so I'm not going to explain all of it. I might go more into detail when we get there, though. It's just not well designed, in my opinion. They could have taken more advantage of the, like, horrific atmosphere that it had going on, because it did, at first, have a really good horror atmosphere to it. It just sort of got killed the moment you start the flashback tape. And then after the flashback tape, I'm calling them flashback tapes because I got Crash Bandicoot on the mind. I'm sorry for that, but that is technically what they are, in a way, because you're watching flashbacks when you play them. Once you play the flashback tape, there's like no horror in the ship section. At least no horror that will actually scare you. Because I think, if I remember correctly, even on my first run, the moment that tape's over, you get like, shortly after you get a weapon you could kill molded with. Like, it's just, I don't even remember being that scared by it on my first run of RE7, and RE7 scared me a lot my first run. It probably isn't the scariest RE game to me, because it's the game that scare factor wore off the fastest for me, but that's mainly because a lot of its scares are jump scares and not environmental scares or enemy related scares like other games do. Like, for example, like, I still get scared from Rev 2, from Rev 1, from RE1 Remake, from RE2 Remake, from RE4 Remake, from the fucking regenerators in that game, and the night guys. But 7 doesn't scare me anymore. And it's because the molded are the only enemies. They're not scary at all. They really aren't. They didn't even scare me my first go of the game, aside from that one section I mentioned having no gun, and there's the 2 crawling molded. And again, that isn't even because of the molded. It's because you're defenseless. But all the games I just named, they got at least one enemy type that is spooky as fuck, even on like your 15th run of the game. They all have... Oh, I thought she killed me for a second. They all have environmental horror going on. Like, either the environment either looks scary, feels scary, or has like a scary soundtrack to it that actually works. In 7, I don't get scared anymore. Why do you think I've been joking this whole game? Because it doesn't scare me. Look, I literally just got killed by a crawling lady with a nest in a certain place I'm not gonna say. And it doesn't scare me. I'm literally sitting here like, this is some goofy ass shit. RE7 is a fun game. Don't get me wrong. I have a lot of good to say about this game too. I don't think it's horrible. It's a solid 7 out of 10. It's just not good at scaring you past your first 1 or 2 runs. Because it's over reliance on jump scares. And the enemy design's not actually being scary. Like, dude, even RE4 Remake, a game that's way more focused on horror, does a better job at this. Shoot, Village still scares me. 2 moments. The giant baby monster, and the moment where you're in the factory, you're going down a dark corridor, suddenly this big metal dude starts walking down slowly towards you. Those 2 moments still freak me out, and I've beaten Village 8 times now. 8 times because I wanted to get that unlimited SIG 12. I also got some other unlimited weapons. I'm very tempted to do a redo of Village. Not necessarily like a redo Let's Play like I did for RE2. But more so like I might do it as a side thing. Like I might just do like a speed run or something. Using only SIG 12 and mines. I have thought about that. I already did a run only using mines and SIG 12. I only used a pipe bomb on that one part on those. There's like 2 parts in the game you have to use a pipe bomb to blow up a wall. But aside from that, I just used them all mines in SIG 12. It was the most fun run I've done in that game. I can't get a run like that in RE7. I have many unlockables now. Like, I went back and got a bunch of unlockables for this game. I got the circular saw. I got the X-ray glasses. I got the Albert 01. I think it's the defense book. I don't know if that's what it's called. It's some kind of book or file or something. I don't know. I got all that shit because I did a speed run of this game. And on top of that, I beat the game on normal. So I got a few unlockables. Those unlockables make the game a little more fun, but like, that's really all I can say about 7. It's just a fun game. It's not scary. It tries so hard to be, but it's not scary at all. Literally, every time this game tries to scare me, I just feel like joking about it. That's why, like, there are literally moments earlier on this Let's Play where I made a joke when I was supposed to be scared. Like Marguerite showing up after the screen went to black in that media tape. Or when Jack shows up in the bathroom and grabs Ethan by the neck. Like, those moments are supposed to scare you. They do not scare me. And it's not because of how many times I've played this game. I've played this game less than Village. I think I've played it like a total of 6 times now. And Village still scares me. This game don't. It's not a scary experience at all. And here's why. The environmental horror is not good. There are a couple moments in the game where the environment is scary. A couple. There's the start of the ship section all the way up to when Evelyn makes you watch that flashback tape. All of that has good environment stuff going on. Like, the environment feels spooky. And then there's the basement of the Baker house. That does a good job at it too. But both of those segments are barely any of the game. And the rest of the game just makes me either want to laugh or just run through and gun everything for the fun of it. There's even a couple times, one of them happened earlier, where I literally just knife and molded just because. I mean, earlier was because I ran out of ammo, but I think next time I do it, I still have ammo. Because the molded are not scary. They're not threatening. Once you realize how stupid their AI is, The only thing you gotta worry about is blocking. You don't gotta worry about outrunning them. You don't gotta worry about, like, outsmarting them or anything. They're really dumb. The molded are the dumbest RE enemies ever, in my opinion. I think the enemies in RE1 Remake take a little more skill than them. In my honest opinion. Well, no, not all the enemies. I guess the regular zombies in RE1 Remake are a little dumber, but that's because, you know, 2002 Remake. They're not going to be that smart. But the Crimson Heads, the Hunters, the Chimera, they're all smarter than the molded. And I've already talked shit about the molded. They're fun to fight, but they are horrible horror enemies because they do not do their job well. They are not scary. There we go, Marguerite. You're dead, bitch. Oh, fun fact here, and it's a little foreshadowing too. Marguerite calcifies and then shatters. Later in the game, we're gonna see that Jack calcifies and doesn't shatter. And if you chose to save Zoe instead of Mia, the same happens to her. And then you get a cutscene where the consciousness of Jack is talking to you while Zoe's next to him. Yeah, here's the funny thing about the main game. The only baker that died was Marguerite. Jack is too far gone. You can't save him. Lucas was already a maniac. And Zoe gets saved. I'm gonna just say it. She gets saved. So, fun fact about this. I forgot that this wall just kind of disintegrates. So I started hitting it with shit, thinking I needed to, but guess not. Unlocked it. Yep, let's go. Back to the old house. Actually, no, I forgot. This next section does a good job at scaring you with the environment, too. I forgot all about it. Here, give me that so I can pick this up. I don't want to leave this behind. But before we go there, making a little trip into the save room. And I'm going to do a little cut here, too, because don't want to waste too much time. So here we are back at the old house. And we're going through here. You might be wondering, why do I go through to the save room in between every, like, section of game? Well, it's because I wasn't speedrunning here. This was my first run in this game in 3 or 4 years. No, 3 years, because I think my last run was in 2021. I think shortly before Village came out. Or not. Yeah, I think shortly before Village came out. My previous run of this was in 2021, so I was kind of going at a steady pace just to make sure, like, I didn't do stupid shit, die for stupid reasons, and stuff like that. I still die a few times in this game, don't get me wrong. I think we have 3 deaths so far, all from boss fights, if I remember correctly. Because I think I died once in the... Yeah, I definitely did. I died once in the Mia fight and in the first Jack fight. And then I died in the second Marguerite fight. So I think 3 deaths is what we got so far, if I remember correctly. Yeah, but that's just from me being out of practice. These bosses aren't really that hard. They really aren't. Like, when I said earlier in the Let's Play that Jack boss, that first one, was like the first time I actually experienced jacking the car for me, pun intended. Oh. And now I'm gonna keep walking through here, Evelyn. I'm just coming for a visit, you know? I'm just gonna aim this gun at your head for what you done to the Bakers and Mia. And then I'm gonna be on my way. Okay? Okay? I really do feel bad for Jack in particular, though, because Lucas was already, like, a maniac. And we don't know enough about who Marguerite was before this all happened. We know she wasn't, like, horrible like she is now, but, like, we actually see how good of a person Jack is. Because of his actions in the Daughters DLC, and, like, the moment we'll get later of him talking to Ethan. Like, we actually see how good of a person he was. And it's, like, heartbreaking to see what he was turned into because of Evelyn. Like, Jack is the most tragic character in this game, in my opinion. Zoe is a close second, don't get me wrong. Like, seeing your family become what they became is definitely not something to gloss over. Like, that is a horrid thing to experience. But I think Jack had it slightly worse because he was a really good, innocent person who was basically punished for helping someone and then was literally a victim. Unlike Zoe, who was like a victim because of what happened, Jack was a victim because he was being almost controlled, kind of. Like, he was made to be something he wasn't. And that to me is like horrid. I feel bad for both Zoe and Jack though, like I really do. I'm glad if there's like a thing you could read in RE Village that phone call.
Did you find it?
Yeah.
Zoe, I already said we don't serve. Oh, you're calling about Chinese food now? The fuck about this is Domino's, don't you understand? We do not serve Chinese food. We do not serve wings. We sell pizza. Anyway, I do feel bad for Zoe and Jack, and I am kind of glad. There's like a thing you read in RE Village. I think it's outside of the game. I think it's like a file you read on the side. It's like a briefing on what happened in RE7. But there's a thing you read that basically confirms that Zoe got out alive. She's going by like a fake name or something now, and she's at least survived, and I'm glad that she got out of all this. But I still feel bad for her. I would like to see Zoe in a future RE game, though. I wouldn't even mind if she was a future protagonist, honestly. Oh, we got a phone call.
Now where the hell are you? You know, never mind.
Zoe, I told you, we serve pizza here.
This is gonna help.
Oh.
Right?
Hey, buddy.
It's this asshole.
I decided that Zoe needed a timeout.
Lucas.
She and Mia are here with me.
I don't know what you calling for, bud, but tell Zoe to stop calling us because we don't serve Chinese food, hot wings, none of that shit. You told her that this is Domino's.
Feel free to come by anytime and I'll give it to you. But only if you participate in a little activity I put together just for you.
What activity?
Oh, I know you're excited, but don't worry. It's not going anywhere. First step I need you to take, partner, is for you to take a peek inside the fridge in the trailer there.
Fuck you.
Oh, come on now. Don't be like that. You want to have some fun, don't you? Now, look in the fridge.
Let's see what we have in the fridge. The pig is waiting for you in the dissection room, bitch. Well, language, Lucas. I'm just kidding. Anyway, I got some more shit to do in here, so we're gonna do another quick cut here. On to the dissection room in the spooky ass basement. I don't even know what I was doing there. I was trying to make a song, but it didn't really work out. Sometimes I can think of really good melodies off the top of my head and just come up with stuff that's funny but also catchy, and then sometimes something like that happens. Apologies there. But yeah. We're almost to the dissection room now, and this. Holy crap! Okay, I forgot about this fucker. I really did. This is probably the only jump scare that still gets me. Because I'm never thinking about it when I come to this part. I ain't even gonna lie. In fact, I think when I was playing through this run of the game, I remembered that one jumped through a wall, but I was expecting it to have happened way earlier, like the first time we were down here, and then it never happened. And then when I came back this time around, I was like, nothing's gonna happen. And then it popped out. I also thought I might be, like, remembering it from the DLC, so that's why I kind of assumed it wouldn't happen here, but it did. It did. We got the snake key. Yeah, by the way, you don't gotta kill these moldy. You can just run the hell out of here. And have no issue with them. There is some gunpowder back there I could be grabbing. But I don't feel like fighting these dudes. So, we out. I don't know why I just healed. I did not need to heal there. Okay. We got the snake key, which will allow us access to both the key cards. Because they're both behind snake key doors. And if you don't remember where the... Did I run past the exit? Okay, anyway. There are two snake key doors in the mansion, if you remember correctly. They're the only two snake key doors in the game, if I remember correctly. I think each key has two doors. There's two scorpion doors in the main house as well. And then there's like, yeah, there's two crow doors too, because there's one over in the old house and one in the main house, so... Yeah, every key has two doors, which is a little disappointing because other RE games are a little better with that. I feel like the game scope here was kind of a little too small in some places. Like, the old house needed to be a little longer, and the main house could have used a couple more rooms, but it's whatever. This was their first time trying to tackle the classic RE style again, but with a new camera perspective. So, I can't really give them too much shit for this. I do think they did it way better in Village and the remakes of 2 and 4, though. In terms of, like, adapting older RE game styles to new games. Because RE2 definitely takes a similar approach to this, but it does it way better. And then 4 Remake and Village definitely tried to recreate the original RE4 in ways. And it does they both do pretty good jobs at it. And adapting that gameplay style. So, yeah. Holy shit. This flamethrower does not do shit to mold it, I swear. I'm using it. I don't remember if I'm out of handgun ammo or if I just don't feel like wasting ammo. Because after this point of the game, you're not going to need the flamethrower for anything. So I think I think the only reason I'm using it on these guys is just because I'm trying to get rid of the ammo so I can toss it out. I think that's literally the whole reason I'm using it. Could be wrong, but I think that's the reason. Are we going left or right first? We're going... Past me? What are you doing? Left or right? We going left. Nope. We going right? Okay, yep, we going right. Oh, I think I know what past me is doing. Wait, did I put the key up? Oh. Okay, it's 10:15. I know what Past-B's doing. Past-B remembers the puzzle. I thought I put the key up, but apparently I didn't. I just stepped back to go Apparently I had the key and I used it. I just stepped back to go check the clock. So 10:15. That's important for this puzzle. If you remember if you've played this game before, you'll know the puzzle is coming and you'll check the clock like I did. I think it's best to do this room first, because it's a little faster, in my honest opinion. Actually, the other room's a little faster, but I don't know why Passby was tackling this one first. I think the runs I did after this, I did the other room first. Or maybe Passby was just... Oh! I know what's in that room over there. I know what's in that side room over there. Yep. A good reason to come over here first, actually. Yep, inventory upgrade. Let's take it. Treasure photo. I still don't remember where that treasure is. I got it before in one of my earlier runs of this game. Years ago. But I don't know where it is anymore. Was that it? I mean, I'm not going to be disappointed if it was. There was a whole ass inventory upgrade in here, but... Is that it? And it seems so. Okay, 10:15. 10:15. There we go. And we own. So this also leads down to the basement, down to the workshop, actually, the room we couldn't get into before. Which is why I think it's better to do this second. But in this run, for some reason, I did this one first. Because this is going to take you all the way back down to the basement. And then you're going to have to go back up to get to the other room. And it just would have been better to do the other room first than to do this. But... oh well. Key card there. There's a loading symbol there. And that spookets me. I think, in retrospect, I think what the loading symbol shows, in this part in particular, is that you're closed in now. But in a lot of parts of modern RE games, the loading symbol usually means there's an enemy loading in, or you're about to face a boss or something. So it's a little spooky in that way. But here, I think it literally was just the bed closing over, which I think happens when you grab the key card. Okay. We are not going that way. We are going this way. If there are any molded in our path, we are just going to walk past. Fuck that shit. Wrong way. I don't know why I was going over there. Here we are. That is the second time I outran that molded and shut the door on it. I still haven't even seen what type of molded it is. I think it's one of the four-legged ones, but I don't know. I don't know what type of molded it is, because that's the second time we shut the door on it. And I think every run I've done in this game since, I do the same thing. I just run out, shut the door, never find out what kind of molded it is. Are we on red? Jeez, the blood don't look that bad. Okay, we gotta heal. Fucking hell, pass me, heal. Okay. We got one more key card to get, so I'm gonna cut to that. So the snake key doors are probably the most convenient in where they're placed, because they're literally right next to each other. You got a snake key door on the opposite side of that door we just walked through, and as soon as you walk through this door, the other snake key door is here. Way different than the way the other two key types work, because the crow key literally has its doors in two separate buildings, and the scorpion key has a door downstairs and a door upstairs, but this key has them across from each other. This is a case where I do think the game could have benefited from more rooms, because if we had more rooms, you could have had more fun finding the other snake key door. Actually, no, there's three. Okay, I was wrong. I remember there being 2 state key doors. There's 3. I forgot we opened one downstairs in the basement when we were fleeing from those molded. Yeah, I forgot all about that. So that's on me. But there's still only 2 scorpion key doors and 2 crow doors. I'm pretty sure. Okay, we're looking for this right here. I've played the game before. I remember this was here. I remember what I was looking for. So, I got it fast. If you were looking for someone playing the game for the first time, this isn't it. Because this is probably... I can't even say it's one of my most played RE games, but it's more played than most of the RE Let's Plays I've done. Because literally the RE4 Let's Play I recorded was my first run. The Village Let's Play was my first run. The RE3 Remake Let's Play was my 5th run. This was my 6th. And the only game I played more times in the past, before the current run that was used to upload was RE2. But I also have a ton of Rev 2 runs. So when we get to that game, that'll also top 7, but it still won't outdo RE2. I played RE2 way too much, man. I love the game that much. Another shadow puzzle, and this one's actually a little more fun. Why is it more fun? Because it's not piss easy like the other 2. It's a little tougher to figure out where exactly to have it. You know what I mean? We're almost on point. We're almost on point. There we go. See, it takes a little more effort with this one, which makes it a little more fun to me. I wish more shadow puzzles were like this, but the other ones are way too easy. Other key card. Let's go. There's also a toy shotgun in here if you want to get it, if you didn't do what I did and just gave the first shotgun back to repair the second. So if you want it, you can go get it. There's also a toy axe up there, which I think we already picked up. So, yeah. Oh, we're getting a phone call. What is it now?
Hey, buddy. Remember, those 2 key cards will get you into the party. Don't be late now.
Let me talk to Mia.
No! You gotta show up first. You haven't forgotten where the party is, have you? You can get in from the courtyard. So come on, man. Everybody's waiting for you.
That "hey buddy" he says, I don't know why, but it's always sounded like Brack. If you don't know who Brack is, I'm talking about Brack from Cartoon Planet. There was also a show called The Brack Show on Adult Swim. Like that, when Lucas says "hey buddy," it sounds a lot like that, like him. The fuck? I did not even know a molded spawned over here. I really didn't. I honestly don't even remember why I'm back over here. I really don't. But apparently a molded spawns over here. This was the first time I ever found this out, by the way. Because this is the first time I ever returned to this part of the house. This late in the game. I had no idea a molded spawned in here. I don't even know why a molded spawns in here, because most players aren't going to come back here. What was the point? I'm literally making this guy walk around a table. It's kind of funny. Oh, shit. He's catching up. He's catching up. He caught up. What am I even back here for? I'm trying to remember. Okay, he's actually dead. Yeah, what did I come back here for? Paspy, what were you up to? There's another one over here. Oh, I think I know what I came over here for. I think I assumed there was still a lot drawer over here. But there wasn't. So I basically had to fight those two molded for no reason. Oh, by the way, we got a little surprise outside. Yeah. Look at that. Shot right in the head, too. Dumb fucker. We got another one out here, too. Look. Hey, buddy. Hey. Where was that axe puzzle at? It was right here, right? Yep. Okay, let's put the toy axe here. And we got to form a 7. I feel like it's a bit of a stretch, though, because it doesn't exactly look like a 7 when it's done. It looks a little off in a way. But it works, I guess. It works, I guess. Weirdest looking 7 I've ever seen, but you know. It works. Okay, I'm going to be ending off the video here, so bye.